you can plainly see. They said I was stupid. They said I was strange. Well, maybe I am, but I'll never change. The world may not like me, but that's okay. There's only one thing I've got to say.
Fuck everybody. Fuck everybody.
They talked about me a bunch of dirty lies. And they laughed at me until they made me cry. But now they can all just kiss my ass. Cause I found myself and I'm such a gas. The world may not like me, but that's okay. There's only one thing I've got to say. Fuck everybody.
Fuck everybody. Alright, cut it off, LD.
Alright.
Episode 21, part 3, like part 2 of part 2. Blah, blah, blah. More Star Wars talk.
Yeah.
Because I just said what you're not allowed to say. Now, you're allowed to say it if you're like a stuffy movie critic. And you can be like, actually, The Last Jedi was pretty good. Blah, blah, blah. And then they all get on there and go like, you ruined my heroes. They say, you ruined Luke Skywalker. Really? You talk about badass Luke Skywalker, who was non-violent and won in Return of the Jedi through non-violence by basically doing like a Jesus thing where he was sacrificing himself, refusing to cross that line. You want to tell me that in The Last Jedi, the way he resolved that situation was a different way than what we knew about Luke Skywalker?
That's a good point.
Sorry, but that sounded like Luke to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that don't sound like Luke was the shit that happened years earlier where he had hubris, but that does sound like the prequel shit where all the Jedi had hubris and they thought they knew what was the fuck going on and they got. And it sounds like that's what happened to Luke. Even though we don't know much about that storyline, that was something they could fill out later, the way they fill out these precious sequels with better content. I say better content. That's me being generous to you guys that like this shit. But I think it's all shit. But they do fill it out with more content to try to make sense of this garbage that George Lucas made. That being said, I like George Lucas. I think he's a nice guy. But I have a fresh set of eyes. LD has never been a Star Wars fan. So no more than like, she's not reading books. She's not doing anything outside of just watching the movies when they come out. And she pretty much skipped over all the prequels because, you know, she had life at that point in time and did not give a shit. So here lately, me and my son, we've been watching the Star Wars movies with her. And we watched the first 3, the original trilogy, on a bootleg that was the original, that didn't have all that stupid shit in it. The Jabba the Hutt.
So much better.
Oh my God. And this is her saying this shit.
Yeah.
This is what happened, okay? So we watched The Force Awakens because my son just wanted to start with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, LD has seen the originals.
Yeah.
But it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched Force Awakens, and we were done. Me and Cyrus, we were done. And we laid down. LD was not done. She watched The Force Awakens and then watched The Last Jedi. And then I kept checking on her. She's starting Rise of Skywalker. I go to sleep and I wake up and she's watching A New Hope on Disney Plus with all the bullshit. And I asked her the next morning how it went. She said all the bullshit on the old one kind of turned her off and she didn't like that. So we went through and watched the original trilogy on my bootlegs that are the original ones, and we had a fun time doing that. And then I said, let's watch the prequels. So we started watching Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. It took 2 sittings to get all the way through that movie.
Yeah.
And LD LD refuses to watch anymore. I started Attack of the Clones because as much I'm a Star Wars guy, like I will still watch them even though I hate them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, let's just watch it. You know, there's some good parts, you know. And I start watching it. That phone comes up. She's on a game. Like immediately. This is somebody that is not part of this nerd narrative that you guys are creating online all the time. This is a regular moviegoer. Now, if you want your thing to stay around, you need the regular people to also like it. Otherwise, it's going to be relegated to like cheap versions of it. You're going to have to read about it. You're going to have to see like cheap B movies about it. You're going to have to see cheap shows made about it. But if you want to see big blockbuster movies about it, you need people like LD to want to watch it. And her favorite movie, and I don't think it's over the original trilogy, right? Original trilogy's best in your view.
Yeah.
Am I correct though?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But her favorite of the one she's seen after that, you think I'm going to say The Last Jedi, but you're wrong. She likes Rise of Skywalker's her favorite one.
I do.
She
Like you
likes it.
say, like the original trilogy is my favorite, but I absolutely love that movie.
Well, it's
But
Adam
that's
Driver.
just me, you know, so.
But that's what she likes.
Yeah.
So, whenever you get in your battles online about talking all this Star Wars shit, the thing to remember is that the regular audience person is what you really want to entertain. And all this lore that you guys get worried about, it's all stupid. None of it was ever written in stone. George Lucas never sat down and wrote the whole story out. He says he did, but he's lying. That's not what happened. There's a book you can read. I mean, if you want to read a book that's not about, laser swords, you want to read like a book, or listen to it on Audible, that basically breaks down the whole writing process of the original trilogy and takes George Lucas to task for the shit that he's retconning about the way he wrote those movies. It was called The Secret History of Writing Star Wars, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to get it put in the description if anybody wants to check it out. It is very interesting listening to that. But the point is, this was always meant to be for kids. And what you guys need to understand is you have one for now. For now, you have said that the sequels are stupid and the prequels are kind of good. But it's not going to last. Because 10 years ago, the prequels were bad. End of story. Do you know why? Because most of you motherfuckers weren't allowed to use the internet yet. And y'all grew up on them. And then you started arguing for why they're actually good. And then these new movies came out and you're like, this isn't what I wanted them to be. This is stupid. These are dumb. These aren't good movies because this is not what I thought they were about. And so what you don't understand is, now there's my son's generation. They're going to come up and they're going to love these children's movies that were made at his age group. And he's going to grow up liking those. So right now you have your pendulum swinged over to the side you want it at. Eventually, it's going to swing over the other way. And I want you to think for a second and try to imagine any old movie that people say is bad and shouldn't be made. Try to think about it. Honestly, think about it. What's a bad movie that's over 20 years old? It's hard to find one. Because people find value in them. Even if they're bad movies, people ironically like them. Or they're hidden gems one day. So all this fucking talking back and forth, and you're stupid if you don't believe what I believe, and blah, blah, blah. It's all just a bunch of nonsense. Also, I got a microphone. Just in case anybody said something about how I needed to have a microphone, just to let you know I do have one. We record all these the same day. We all record on Sunday and release them throughout the week. So either, maybe nobody watched these. But if somebody did click on this and try to tell me that I needed to get a microphone, I'm just letting you know I got one right here.
That's right.
I guess we can pretty much call it. No, here's the other thing. I would love to continue this discussion, but I'm not going to do it through comments. You are welcome to comment. And if I think you have a good point or something I want to argue against, I will write it on this board, and I will debunk it or agree with it or whatever. But that's the way we do things here. If you see me in the comments, I'm always going to be nice because I just always appreciate anybody's comments. That being said, please let me know if you disagree with me. Tell me why I'm wrong about The Last Jedi. Tell me all that shit. This is a call to action. I never do calls to action, but I think it's appropriate here because it is actually a discussion. So tell me your bad opinion and how right you are. Just tell me. And I want to thank anybody that watched this. Even if I pissed you off, thank you. And even if you agree with me, thank you. But even if you disagree with me. I think I meant to say disagree. I don't know. I think we're done filming.
I think so too.
I think we're done. We're done filming. It's going to be really fucking... It's going to hurt your feelings when I'm up here slurring and I can't even speak straight and I still debunk whatever dumb shit you try to say. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.